Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Anne, the Max Colour Stitcher. Today is Sunday, the 5th of October 2025, and I'm back for my weekly cross stitch update. So it's been a pretty busy week, life-wise, but I still managed to get in my usual amount of stitching. So I got 6,000 stitches in, which seems to be my usual these days. I worked on 8 whips and I have a new start. You can probably guess what it was. It was an unexpected new start. I wasn't planning on starting it, but yeah, things happened. We'll go into it when I get to that. I will show my projects in order of when I stitched them, just because I am, that's the type of person I am. For anyone new, I stitch all my projects, well, except for one, on 22 count 1/1 full cross using DMC, and I use Stitching Mummy's typewriter method, which is picking a symbol in a 10 by 10 block, top to bottom, left to right, and going all the way across the project, either on one line or 2 lines. I just find that makes things a little bit quicker, a little less thinking, because this next symbol that I need to stitch is chosen for me. I'm not a person who likes making choices, so I'll have the choices made for me, thank you. And that's just why I also have a decision wheel, so I don't have to make any choices. And I like all my projects, so if the wheel spins them, I'm happy to stitch on them. I mean, sometimes I'm not really in the mood to stitch on that one, but I like them, so when you get into it, I find that you know, it goes pretty quickly, and if you're really not enjoying it, the 500 stitches, it doesn't take that long and motivates me to stitch a little bit quicker so I can move on to the next project. But as always, I'll start with my Sunday project, which is this one, Dragon Race Into the Night. It is Max Colour, artwork by Rose Khan. This one is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, which is now retired from there and is charted by Pain Free Crafts. Just love this one, loved it ever since I saw it. And, you know, a lot of my whips are cats, and this one doesn't have a cat in it, but yeah, just the colours really appealed to me, and the whole black, you know, light to dark situation. So I'm stitching, I decided, so last Flosstube I had finished the row, which was excellent. So then I was starting on the left again this week, and I decided to stitch. I was tossing up between whether I continue doing 2 rows or 1 row, and I decided to just do the 1 row on this one. So this week I worked just through here. So I got this building and the top of this pink flag. I was stitching the pink and I'm like, what is this? I'm pretty sure it wasn't a dragon, so I had to look at the mock-up to work out what it was, because I was so curious as to what normally I don't look at the mock-up, but yeah, if I start getting a lot of one color, I'm like, there's something going on there. I need to know what that is. So here we are here. So I'll have a before picture up so you can see what I did, but basically I worked all the way from here to here with my 1,000 stitches, and I definitely think, well, the 1,000 stitches goes a lot further, just doing the single row. So yeah, I was very happy with my decision to do that. I do like to stitch out my thread if I can. These threads possibly could have been from a prior row, or I might have just gotten lazy. I normally stitch maybe 1 or 2 blocks below the row I'm working on, and then after that I park. One, because I have the space available pretty narrow. I have the 10 centimeter ends because I can't reach under very far. And also I don't like to worry about miscounting, so happy to park. But also I know that, well, I find that it's quicker if you know, you just stitch the thread out rather than parking all the time. And someone asked me on my Flosstube last week, how do I decide when to pick up the park stitches? And it's really when they get in my way. So if, you know, if there was one here and I was stitching here, I'm gonna get rid of that before, because I hate having to move them out of the way. But so if I started this row, for example, I'd probably stitch all of this way, and then I'd get to here, and then I'm like, okay, these are my row, and then I would stitch them in. So that's progress for this week, and I'll show you the whole thing. So this got a milestone last week of 250,000, and then this week's milestone is it went over 60%. So very excited. It is now, so this now has 251,000 stitches out of 417,000, and it went from 59.95 to 60.19%. Hopefully you guys can see that. I can't see. So we're working on this one again today. Sorry, that was probably loud. They're quite heavy, these scroll rods. They're quite big. And I'll be stitching more in this flag and get back into the wing of this green dragon, I would imagine. I think that's safe and not going to fall over. So after I stitched my 1000 on Dragon Race, then I spun to do 500 on each of my whips on my decision wheel. There is currently 15. I had 2 more whips on my decision wheel, and then I reset it. So the last 2 that came up, the first one was Kitten Kaboodle. This is artwork by Simonetta Ubiali. It is charted by Charting Creations. Sorry, I had to think about that for a minute. So this one here, I actually spun it, oh, well, I should say, you know, it was my last 2 projects on my wheel, and I spun it again once I reset. So this one actually got 1,000 stitches on it this week, and 500 stitches went to finish this row. So I worked in the white and pink flowers there, and then when I picked it up again, I started back over here and I worked in the kitten and the top of the chair there. So that was fun. It was fun that I got to start, well, fun that I got a row finish, because you know how much I like my row finishes. And then also fun that I got to start a new row and go back to the kitten, because it feels like I've been doing background on this one for quite a while. So here is my first 500 stitches. You can see I really got to fill in those 2 flowers. I was doing this 2 rows at a time. So yeah, this row finish took a long time because of that. So that's 500 stitches there. And then I came back and started and did, so I'm just doing the single row on this one now. So worked in all of this, and that's the top of the chair that the cat's leaning on. So the stitches, the colours did go over a lot, which is why I think I've only got 2 full blocks finished, even though there's 500 stitches, because they went down here, here, and all in the cat's face. So I just worked out the thread where I could, or parked if I got too far. So this now has a total of 28,000 stitches and has gone for out of 163,540. It went from 16.82 to 17.43%. So nearly a whole percent. Well, it's not, is it? Ignore my math skills. But that's looking good. So I probably won't see that one for a while, because I've done 6 projects now on my current wheel, whatever you want to call it. I've got 9 more to do, so I won't be doing that one again next week. So the last one that was on my wheel before I reset is this one. It is Elegant Floral Sewing Kit, artwork by Leader Drum, charted by Stitches So Beautiful. This one I'm stitching in memory of my mum because she loved to sew and she loved flowers, roses. She had an amazing rose garden before she passed. And I am not a gardener, and she did try to help me, but yeah, nothing really is alive in my garden. So I'm not doing the background in this one because it's all basically just, and I never remember what color it is, 712, or it's one of the 7s, a cream color, and then it's got B5200 in as well, and I just figured I don't want to do that. So I'm cutting that out where I can. And I'm also doing about 3 rows across on this one because, yeah, you'll see why in a minute. But I finally got this row finished. So I was working in this flower here and this, whatever that is, a flower, a leaf, a flower, I guess. It's not very, it's a bit, what would you call it? Not defined. So here we are here. You can see, so I had finished this flower last time, so I just worked in all of that, and that's my 500 stitches. Very happy to have this row finished because I'm hoping that, possibly not the next row, but very soon I won't have to worry about what stitches are background and what isn't, and I'll just be able to stitch everything that comes up. You know, in the Stitching Mummy's typewriter methods, I'll just be able to pick the symbol. Whereas now, like, I select a symbol, I'm like, oh no, that's background. next one. So, you know, it's a bit of a time waster having to think about what's background and what's not. But I think that really looks really good. I'm really happy with how it's coming along without the background. So this one now has a total of 7,000 stitches out of 160,000, and it's gone from 4.06 to 4.38%. And I just deleted something on my spreadsheet. So then I reset my wheel and I worked on this one. This is Scruffy Muffin. It is artwork by the Cross Stitch Studio. No, it's not. It's charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. It's artwork by Fantasy Digitals. This was my newest start until my new one. So this one I'm also taking out the background and I'm stitching on hand dyed fabric. I've been just working in this ear here. So this one is stitched. This is my only one that's not stitched on 22 count. This is stitched on 25 count, even weave. It is hand dyed by Paddock Lane Designs. I'm not sure if that's the right way around or not. They are in Australia and it's the colourway Autumn Leaves. So that's very true to colour. That's the colour it is. And I did 500 stitches and I just worked in more of this pink on the inner ear of the cat. So I've had to amend the way I stitch on this one because I was finding it too difficult to work out background and foreground. So I will work my way across here and then go up to the scraggly, scruffy bits, rather than trying to piece my way along just the scruffy bits in the row. So I think that's 2 rows down, but I was only doing the one, but as you probably saw on the mock-up, the pink of the ear goes down, so And then when I did the black and the dark greys, that obviously went down as well, the outside of the cat's ear there. So that's coming along. Still enjoying the 25 count. It is a bit small for my liking, even with magnification, but it's easy enough to stitch in terms of getting my needle through, so I'm happy with that. And I'll continue on this beautiful fabric. So this now has a total of 2,500 stitches out of 202,500, and it went from 0.99 to 1.23%, but and I didn't say in the last one, the Elegant Floral Sewing Kit percentage is wrong because of the background not being marked off, and I haven't marked the background off on this one either, so that percentage is wrong. So I'm definitely well over 1% now, So then, that was the 30th of September, I think. And then I participate in, let's begin with, I'm a member of the Sisky Stitches Facebook group. Sisky is a Flosstuber here on YouTube, and she also has a Facebook page. She has lots of different events that you can join, across stick and colour whirl and all sorts of other things. If you haven't watched her, go and have a watch of her channel. She has some amazing projects, but she has a monthly challenge where if you would like, you can participate in the monthly challenge, and if as a group or team, whatever you want to call it, we get the amount of stitches, then someone wins a prize. So this, I should say for September, I was the lucky winner. So yay. I don't win stuff very much. So that was a lovely surprise. So thank you, Sisky, again. And the original prize was a Pain Free Crafts chart. And they have some beautiful charts, don't get me wrong, but nothing really grabbed my attention that she's got available at the moment. A lot of her artwork is a lot of dragons and things like that, but just I don't know, they're just, none of them appealed to me. Anyway, like I love the artwork, I just didn't want to stitch any of them, and that's what I find with a lot of artwork, even artwork I see with other companies, like the Scruffy Muffin was my first cross stitch studio, because although I love all the animals that Betsy charts, none of them appeal enough to me to stitch. So yeah, so I said that to Sisky, and she very, very kindly offered to have Fuzzy Wuzzy as my prize, because she knew I wanted to stitch Fuzzy Wuzzy. So that is the prize I got. And for those who don't know what Fuzzy Wuzzy looks like, this is her. Isn't she adorable? So this is obviously from the Cross Stitch Studio as well. So she can be a little friend to Scruffy Muffin. This is obviously would be impossible. Well, maybe not impossible for some people. Impossible for me. I wasn't going to attempt it, to try to separate the background out of this one, because she's fuzzy, not scruffy. So yeah, I'm doing the background on this one. So I won this, and of course I had to start it straight away, especially since I had fabric, which I just stole from one I've abandoned. So I think now that's probably all the fabric I have. If I had something else new, I'd have to buy some more fabric. Actually, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, unless I abandon another one, which I don't plan to do. Anyway, this is Fuzzy Wuzzy. It is artwork by Heather Duncan and charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. And it was such a joy to stitch. I have to say, this is, again, it was just really easy to stitch. I didn't have to park. And yeah, I actually stitch a lot of greens, but you can sort of see this green at the top there. She is going to be a joy to stitch, I can just tell. So as per usual on all my new starts, I like to get 1,000 stitches in. So this is her now. So that's 1,000 stitches at a total of 171,500. So she's not too big. Anything under 200 is pretty good. Scruffy Muffin in comparison is 202,500, so smaller than Scruffy, but because I'm taking out the background, it might actually end up being the same or less stitches, I don't know. I haven't worked out how much the background would actually be on Scruffy, so. But this is Fuzzy. Let's talk about Fuzzy. I just love seeing those names. They just make me happy just saying them. Scruffy Muffin, Fuzzy Wuzzy. It just brings joy, doesn't it? We could all use some more joy, I think. So this is now at 0.58%. So 1,000 stitches, very happy with that. So thank you again, Siski, really appreciate it. And yeah, as I said, go across and watch Siski, and if you're interested in joining the challenge, you could join Siski's Facebook group and stitch along with the rest of us. There's an October challenge going. She normally does one each month. Okay, so after my new start, I spun the wheel again. And I spun this one. So this is Cradled by Waves Filled with Love and Wonder. It is artwork by World of Love Hearts Adrian G. Eyre and is charted by Stitches So Beautiful. Still in the very top on this one. I'm doing the 2 rows, so I'm about here, I think, because I did some of the green and then I've moved across into more of the browns. So this is it here. I got 500 stitches on this one. Don't have to park on this one either, so another easy one that goes quickly. This one was chosen by my daughter. She loved the cat and the red hair. So this now has a total of 4,000 stitches out of 160,000, and it's gone from 2.19 to 2.5%. So yeah, it does have a lot of background, this one, but lots of cute butterflies and flowers and things. So, and I actually don't mind it because it, you know, the background, it's all just different colors. It's not just blue or green or something like that. And yeah, I mean, Fuzzy Wuzzy, it has a bit of mottling to the background too. So I think that will be a nice stitch. The next one I spun was also for my daughter, so she was happy. I did both of hers this week. So this is the one she chose. She loves pink, although she was telling me yesterday that she's gone off pink now and she likes purple and blue, but I'm like, well, I'm really hoping she still will be happy once this is done. It's going to take a long time. So this is Paris Morning, artwork by Uliana Babenko, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So I've been working in the leaves here and I've just finished the last leaf on my row and I am moving over to the sky. But I think I may just, on my current row, I'm only doing a single row on this one, get to the cloud next time. So 500 stitches, finished off this leaf and moved over into the blue. So yes, lots of blue in my future, but that's okay. I think there'll be quite a few rotations till I get back to the pink. But this now has a total of 31,500 stitches out of 367,500. It's gone from 8.44 to 8.57%. Okay, so that's when I spun Kitten Kaboodle again, and I've just showed you that one. So 2 more to show that I spun. The next one I spun is this one, Flowers, Fur Feathers, artwork by Chiro Marchetti. It is max color, charted by Heaven Earth Designs, and I'm working in this flower here. I was doing 2 rows, but I switched to the single row since I've only just started that row. And I figured this one, it's quite wide, so and I want to get a row finish sooner rather than later. So yeah, switch to single row. And lots of hanging threads on this one. And there's my 500 stitches. So I just filled in this flower here. So still have a fair bit to fill in. And then, what's next? Oh, there's a yellow flower here, and then back into, that's just sort of black, and then more of these green leaves here before I get back to the bird. Although the bird's basically done, it's just the bottom of its tummy there. So this now has a total of 61,500 stitches out of 350,175. It's gone from 17.48 to 17.56%. So yeah, still a long way from 20%, unfortunately. But that's what happens when you have lots of projects and you're only doing 500 on each time. But I really do enjoy my 500 because I feel like, you know, there's not too long between seeing my projects. And my last spin is definitely one of my favorites. And this one is Blooming Whiskers. This is artwork by Ashford Studios, charted by Pain Free Crafts. So they have another one that they have released on their Facebook page, Ashford Studios that is, which I hope Pain Free Crafts will chart soon. It's got a black cat on it and it is amazing. But anyway, we're talking about Blooming Whiskers, so zoom in. So I worked on this flower here and then this pink flower this time. And here we are here. So yeah, finished all of that flower and then I finished basically all of that flower as well. So it's coming along. This one is always a bit slower because of all the colours, but the result is amazing. So this now has a total of 31,500 out of 257,400. It's gone from 12.04 to 12.24%. Okay, so that's all my stitching for this week. So for next week, it's actually public holiday tomorrow. It's called King's birthday, but it's obviously not the King's birthday. But yeah, we all get a public holiday, so hopefully get some more stitching in than I normally would. This will be our last public holiday until Christmas, so I will be trying to enjoy that. Otherwise, I will just be spinning my wheel. I have, as I said before, 9 more whips. So with Dragon Race and my 9, I think that probably should fill up my week, unless I have bumper stitching days, but probably not. Probably not. Work's still busy. I didn't get a chance to train up my new recruit last week. She was busy with something else, so that'll be my job for this week. Well, starting Tuesday anyway. And Kate Kate's school holidays finished on Friday, so she's back to school on Tuesday, which she's not looking forward to, but she's not really big a fan on school. But this is her last term for this grade 5 year, and then she'll be in her last year of primary school. So that's, I can't believe I have a child who will be going, you know, who's in the last year of primary school. Time flies, that's for sure. So that's about it, I think. Don't plan to have any new starts. I know it's a lot of Flosstubers and Stitchers alike are doing lots of Halloween projects, but Halloween's not really a big thing in Australia, so, and I don't have any of those, so I won't be stitching on any of that. Yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching, as always. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking and commenting. It always makes my day when I see all your lovely comments, so thank you very much. And I hope everyone has a good stitchy week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.